Once upon a time, in a beautiful meadow surrounded by lush trees and flowers, there lived a large family of field cats. The parents were strong hunters who made sure that no one went hungry, and they had 7 adorable kittens, 4 girls and 3 boys. One day, while playing near an old barn, the kittens found a tiny mouse. They hadn't seen one up close before and didn't know what to do with it. One of the female cats, named Snowball, suggested they take it home to their parents, who would know what to do with it. The other cats agreed, and so they carried the mouse inside their mouths and returned home. When the mother and father saw what the kids brought, they were very proud and happy. They gave the kittens lots of love and praised them for their bravery. The mother told the kittens that even though mice may seem scary at first, they are actually delicious and nutritious food for growing cats. She said that her and her husband would teach them how to hunt and catch their own food when they are older. But for now, they will take care of them. The male cat, whose name was Ginger, picked up the mouse and showed the kittens how to eat it properly. He explained that it was important to start eating from the head because the tail could be poisonous. While the cats ate, they talked about all kinds of hunting techniques, making the meal even more enjoyable. After dinner, the family gathered in the corner of the barn to prepare for bed. The kittens snuggled up to each other and closed their eyes, dreaming of exciting adventures. The mother and father cats lay down next to their children, keeping them warm and safe throughout the night. In the morning, the whole family woke up full of energy and ready for a new day. Before starting their day, Ginger announced that today he and his wife would teach the kittens a very important skill: how to find and catch mice on their own. The kittens were so excited and couldn't wait to learn this new skill. But the mother cat said that before learning to hunt, they needed to learn the art of patience. Hunting is not just about being quick and agile, but also about being patient and waiting for the right moment to strike. After giving some examples, she sent the kittens to play near the barn, promising to return later and see how much they have learned. The kittens spent the morning playing and having fun. But after a while, they started getting bored. At first, they wanted to go back to the house, but then they remembered what their mother had told them about patience. So they decided to wait a little longer before returning. Meanwhile, the male and female cats were looking for the perfect mouse to use as a teaching tool. After a while, they finally spotted one and set up a plan to teach the kittens. When the cats returned to the barn, they called the kittens and told them they were going to practice catching mice. Then they let the kittens loose and watched as they tried to find a mouse. At first, the kittens had no luck, but they didn't give up. After a while, one of the male cats spotted a mouse and started chasing it. The mouse ran around the barn, trying to escape the cat's clutches, but it was too fast for the kitten to catch. The male cat kept chasing the mouse until it disappeared behind a pile of hay. The kitten was disappointed, thinking it had lost its prey. However, the mother cat told him to be patient and wait a little bit. Then she and the father cat left the barn to look for the mouse, planning to bring it back for the kitten to try again. Meanwhile, the kitten waited patiently, listening to his parents talking. As soon as the mother and father cat reappeared, the kitten immediately pounced on the mouse, finally catching it. It was a perfect catch, and the kitten felt so proud of himself. The other cats congratulated him, and the father cat even gave him a big hug. The mother cat praised the kitten for his patience and for listening to her advice. She explained that if he hadn't been patient and waited for the right moment, he wouldn't have caught the mouse. After this first lesson, the family took a break to rest and enjoy some fresh fish that the father cat had brought. After everyone had eaten their fill, it was time for the next lesson, learning how to climb trees. The mother cat explained that climbing trees is an important skill for cats, not only for hunting, but also for escaping predators and finding a cozy place to sleep. She showed the kittens how to use their claws and teeth to grip the bark and how to balance their bodies while climbing. At first, the kittens weren't very good at climbing, and some of them even fell and had to be rescued by their parents. But they didn't get discouraged and kept practicing. Ginger, the father cat, encouraged the kittens to keep trying. He told them that every cat can climb trees, and they just needed to believe in themselves. Slowly but surely, the kittens got better and better at climbing. They raced up and down the trees, feeling the wind in their fur and enjoying the view from above. The mother cat was very proud of her kittens. She could see that they were learning fast and would soon be able to defend themselves if they ever needed to. As the sun began to set, the family returned home. The kittens were tired but happy after a long day of learning. Before going to sleep, the father cat told the kittens a story about a brave cat who saved his family from danger. The kittens listened attentively, their eyes wide with wonder and excitement. They imagined themselves as brave heroes, defending their family and friends from harm. As the story ended, the kittens snuggled close to their parents, feeling loved and protected. The mother cat purred softly, her voice like a gentle lullaby. The father cat nuzzled his kittens, his heart filled with pride and affection. Together, they drifted off to sleep, dreaming of exciting adventures and daring feats of bravery. Many days passed since the kittens learned how to hunt mice and climb trees. Now they are confident young cats, ready for new challenges. One afternoon, the family was resting in the barn, when suddenly, a terrible noise made them all jump. A group of dogs had entered the meadow and were running towards the barn. The mother cat quickly stood up and meowed loudly, alerting the others. She knew they had to warn the other animals about the danger that was coming. With a start, the father cat understood the seriousness of the situation. These were no ordinary dogs. They were large, aggressive, and dangerous. He knew they had to protect their family and the other animals in the meadow. With a determined look in his eyes, he got ready to face the danger. The kittens, although scared, knew they had to be brave. Their mother had taught them well, and they were ready to defend their home and family. Ginger, the father cat, took charge of the situation. He led his wife and kittens to a safe place, making sure they were out of danger. Meanwhile, he prepared a plan to face the dogs. He knew he couldn't fight them directly, but he could use his agility and intelligence to outsmart them. Taking a deep breath, he began to put his plan into action. The mother cat, along with her 4 daughters, hid in a secret passageway near the barn that led to an underground den. This was a place where foxes used to hide from predators, and she knew it was the perfect place to shelter her kittens. As for the father cat, he came up with a clever plan to distract the dogs. He knew that the dogs would never go near water, so he led them to a nearby stream and then jumped into the water. The dogs, unable to follow him, stopped at the edge of the stream and started barking furiously. With the dogs distracted, the mother cat and her 4 daughters were able to sneak out of the meadow and into the forest. They moved quietly through the trees, making sure the dogs didn't hear them. After walking for a while, they found a small cave where they could hide until the danger passed. Inside the cave, the mother cat told her kittens that they had to stay quiet and still. She knew that if the dogs found them, they would be in danger. The kittens huddled together, their hearts beating fast. They could hear the dogs barking in the distance, but they didn't know if the dogs had followed their scent. As the minutes passed, the kittens started to relax a bit. They knew that their father was very smart and that he had probably managed to distract the dogs. Suddenly, they heard a loud crash and the sound of shattering glass. The kittens got scared and started meowing loudly, but their mother quickly silenced them. She knew that if the dogs heard them, they would come straight to their hiding place. Just then, they heard the sound of footsteps near the cave. The kittens held their breath and closed their eyes tight. They could hear the footsteps getting closer and closer, and then suddenly, a loud bark echoed inside the cave. The kittens opened their eyes and saw a large dog standing in front of them. The dog looked around and then started sniffing the ground. The mother cat and her kittens were terrified, but they knew that if they stayed still, the dog might not notice them. The dog continued sniffing around, but it seemed more interested in the smell of the forest than in the cats. After a while, it started to walk away. The mother cat and her kittens let out a sigh of relief. They had survived the worst part of the danger, but they still had to stay hidden until the coast was clear. The mother cat knew that the dog could come back, so she told her kittens to stay very still and quiet. She didn't want them to make any noise that could attract the dog's attention. The kittens nodded their heads obediently and tried their best to stay still. Time seemed to pass slowly, and the mother cat started to worry that the dog might return. But finally, she heard some distant sounds that made her perk up her ears. She could hear the barking of dogs in the distance, but it sounded like they were far away. Taking a peek outside the cave, she saw that the dogs were indeed far away and seemed to be running in different directions. The mother cat knew that it was finally safe for them to come out of their hiding place. She let out a meow, and her 4 daughters came out of their hiding spot. They were scared but relieved that they had made it through the dangerous situation. The mother cat and her kittens stayed in the forest for a few more hours, until they were sure that the dogs had gone away. Then they started their journey back to the meadow. When they arrived at the barn, they saw that the father cat was waiting for them. He had come looking for them when he realized they hadn't come out of their hiding place. The family was reunited, and the father cat was overjoyed to see his wife and kittens safe and sound. The mother cat told her husband everything that had happened, and he listened attentively. He was proud of how his wife and kittens had handled the situation and praised them for their bravery. The kittens purred happily, feeling loved and protected by their family. As the sun began to set, the family gathered inside the barn. They snuggled together, their bodies warming each other in the cool evening air. The father cat told stories of brave cats and daring adventures, his voice a soothing rumble that lulled his kittens to sleep. The mother cat watched over her family, her heart filled with love and gratitude. She knew that no matter what dangers lay ahead, they would face them together, united and strong. As the night deepened, the barn became a sanctuary of peace and warmth. The family slept soundly, their dreams filled with images of safety and love.